I'm elated this morning seeing the faces of my commanders here, the constituency youth organizers. Respect, I. My regional youth organizers, thank you for the support and holding my back. My TESCON executives, ahoya to all of you. Ahoya. That's right. It's part of a forum we have dubbed Truth and Fact Series. The forum will hold periodic media engagements to put before the Ghanaian youth and the entire populace policies of government, the MPP as a party, and general issues of interest to all Ghanaians. As the name suggests, Truth and Facts Forum is intended to provide honest, candid information to the millions of young people who look up to us for hope. Last week, the MPP, under the leadership of Chairman Stephen Intim and General Secretary Justin Kodia Frimpong, chalked a massive victory in the Kumeru by-election to retain the seat for the We want to sincerely thank the good people of the Kumeru constituency for believing in us and doing us the honor. The National Youth Wing would like to take this opportunity to congratulate the MP-elect Honorable Ernest Yawinim on his election. He is a humble 38-year-old man who falls within our wing, and we know he will serve his people with dignity. Very soon, there will be another by-election in the Asin North constituency. We are ready for it. This past weekend, I was in the constituency and I was amazed at the level of development that this government has undertaken there. Superb first-class roads, beautiful astroturf, water projects, schools, just to mention but a few. We are going to Asin North, and let me make a bold declaration that we are going to win it. The National Youth Wing, under my leadership, took to the road and toured all 16 regions of the country. We did so with a firm belief that horses and chariots are prepared ahead of battles, and every good army will not relent or joke around its preparation ahead of D-Day. We therefore went round to shake up our structures, that is, constituency and regional youth wings, and also met with ordinary party members, youth groups, and bases in general, rank and file. Furthermore, my National TESCON Secretariat, led by Eric Ofosu, has been at its efficient best with regards to making our student front stronger and formidable. Their campus invasion programs, together with my two deputies, Isaac Ni Amate Jihad and Sandra Sarkodie Ado, have yielded so much benefit and brought into the party some fantastic young budding people. Our tour revealed a lot to us that this government, led by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has done so much that no administration in the history of Ghana can beat. In terms of infrastructural development, our media friends, for the want of time, we cannot enumerate all the projects being done by this government. But let me highlight a few. The recently held 66th Independence Anniversary Parade in Ho was held at the plush new Youth Resource Center constructed by this government, overlooking the mountains in Volta. Very beautiful. Whole township roads, which the NDC couldn't do, have been done by this Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo government. A 1D1F factory in Adaplo producing ethanol has been established under this government. Ladies and gentlemen, all these are in the Volta region, where the NDC described as their World Bank. Here in Greater Accra, we have seen the massive work being done on the Ofankor to Nsawam stretch of the dualization of the Accra Kumasi Road. The flyover at Spintex to join East Legon is another important project that will contribute to easing traffic on our roads on that stretch. The various magnificent STEM schools built at Abomasu, Passingpe, and other districts across the country will significantly improve access and quality education. And media friends to recall that John Dramani Mahama, as president, told the Ghanaian youth that he is not a magician to create jobs for us. As if to add insult to injury, his minister in the person of Honorable Rashid Pelpo also told us that we should take to stone cracking as their alternative ideas to job creation. Furthermore, we have keenly followed John Mahama's campaign talks, and we are yet to hear him make any useful policy statement for the youth, except for his bloodthirsty inciting comments of do or die. Maybe that passes for his youth policy. This is worrisome for someone of his kind not to have any regard for the youth of this country. No wonder as president, he was a monumental failure and achieved nothing for this country except for the dreadful pain he cost us. This is why the MPP Youth Wing wishes that all young people in this country will join us and make the NPP their party of choice. It is the party that has a track record of working for the youth. Since our first government under President Kufuor, we have continuously introduced pro-youth policies like the YE of today, Ghana Cares Obatampa program, YouStart, Presidential Pitch and the NEP, etc. We have done so, all of these, because of our belief in youth development and empowerment. Clearly, this is proof that we are a party for the youth. Despite the giant strides made by our government in creating employment opportunities for the youth, we acknowledge the fact that much needs to be done to tackle the graduate unemployment in this country, which is still high and needs a government that will continue to work at it. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, the NDC and its lying brigade think that the only way for them to return to power is deceit and propaganda. But we want to assure them that for a party that is arithmetically challenged and cannot collate a simple election result, in this era of artificial intelligence, they will not have a field day to lie to the Ghanaian youth and the Ghanaian people in general. They will not have that field day. Recently, the NDC held a presser addressed by the National Communications Officer on Galamsey per purported report by Professor Frimpong Boateng, yet again, to prove that they are gross and shamelessly perverse. They refuse to give a truthful account of the document. Assuming without admitting to the content of the report, they flagrantly refused and left part of the report that relates to their sitting member of parliament who is heavily accused of doing galamsey. Their double standards beat any sane mind and only shows that they do not have any good intentions on the issue, and as usual, playing politics with such an important matter. The government stands with the people of Ghana. The MPP lost over 10 parliamentary seats due to the stance of the government against the menace. It nearly put us in the minority in the House of Parliament. The president put his presidency on the line for this cause. While the president's head was on the chopping board, the NDC executives were on the field promising galamsey operators unrestrained uncontrolled access to illegal mining, thereby making nonsense of all the efforts to streamline it. It is this period that the infamous Asha 1 operated without control and wreaked havoc on us as a nation. We are not against mining, but it should be done in a responsible manner. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, we cannot conclude this press conference without touching on the current economic situation. This government has admitted to widespread economic difficulties in the country due to extreme shocks from exogenous factors, notably post-COVID recovery rigidities and global supply chain disruptions due to the Ukraine-Russia war. It's amazing how the leader of the NDC admits totally to these two important factors when addressing his audience abroad, but is quick to dismiss the relevance of these exogenous factors when he comes back home by putting all the blame on government. His hypocritical posture shows that he respects his international audience and therefore minded to show fidelity to facts and truth when he's abroad, but same cannot be said to the Ghanaians he wants to lead again. Ghanaians have begun asking themselves, is John Mahama the alternative to the MPP breaking the eight? The people are wondering because the Mahama of 2012 to 2016 is the same Mahama they have brought back for 2024. John Mahama remains empty as ever, and even more so unsure of himself now than ever. He is fond of throwing out policy initiatives on his campaign platforms. Promises he has not thought through and has no intentions of implementing if voters dare make the mistake of trying him again. In the memorable words of Honorable John Peter Amewu, he says, John Mahama is a conman. For example, he says he will scrap ex gratia. He gave this promise in 2012 and had 4 years to implement it, but he did not. That is his record. He repeated the same promise in 2014 and went back to sleep. He has reawakened the promise and yet continues to enjoy ex gratia as former president. The MPP is not claiming to solve all the problems in this country, but we are on course to doing so. Indeed, this government is not made up of saints and angels, but human beings who have flaws. But on the balance of any scale, we have performed better. Which one do we prefer in this country? A government that is trying to solve our problems, i.e., employment, infrastructure, education, etc., or an opposition party that beats about the bush with no clear policy for this country? The National Youth Wing of the NPP wants to challenge former President John Mahama and his NDC to state categorically what they have done for the Ghanaian youth and their policies aimed at empowering the youth in the case of his highly unlikely return. The Ghanaian youth should be taken seriously, and that is what we stand for. Let me state that we are very clear in our minds that the MPP government has a clear policy plan for the youth of this country, and that we at the National Youth Wing will continue to stand for the interest of the entire Ghanaian youth and populace. Our friends from the media, let me state unequivocally that the development of this country is right on our hands. We, the young people. It should not be business as usual. Politicians shouldn't take us for a ride. But we should demand proof from politicians based on their track record and what they can do for us. Let us make better and informed decisions. This country, this government is serving the youth of this country, and it needs your support to get it right. This government is serving the youth of this country and needs your support to get it right. It is not a Matre Makwai situation. No. This is not a Matre Makwai. It is not. But our collective destinies are at stake. Today, many young people have been given hope because of the free SHS and TVET policies that we have implemented, which are turning dreams into possibilities. This is the legacy Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo will leave behind, and history will remember him. We may not appreciate him now, but certainly his name will be written in the sands of time as one of the greatest leaders this country has ever had. This is a government that is working for you. This is a government that is working for you. So help it break the 8 and continue with the development and progress that our motherland needs. Thank you once again for honoring our invitation, and thank you for Ghana. Long live MPP, long live Ghana. Thank you.